NQ trade.
Hey everybody, DayTraderRockStar here with a market radar for the, well, a few days after the July 4th holiday. It is a Wednesday. I just got back into the office from taking a nice trip down to see Paul RPM down in North Carolina and some other friends over the 4th of July weekend. Couldn't pick a better time to drive. And, well, anyway, I'm happy to be back here in the office. We took today to get used to, get back into the swing of things. We weren't really paying attention to the market too much on Monday. Half day, light volume, having too much fun. And, you know, going into the week here, just feeling things out. And you can now actually, we actually did get into a new position today. We'll talk more about that. But just to give you an outlook or an overview of the markets here are still very strong. We had this rising channel moving higher, and we were following this, and we said beware the rising channel, because we could actually see a rotation back down here. And we actually, I think we had a short into this. We had our puts in here, and then we covered it. Market there popped and pulled back and then chopped around, and now we're pushing. Now I'm actually long again on the calls. So we have July 21st calls. So we want to SPY calls, and again, those are on the platform for the members to follow. But you know, take a look at the pattern here. It's right now we did break down on that downward channel. We started to push back up, retest the underline of that channel line that broke down, and we'll see if it actually tries to push back up. If this channel ends up becoming obsolete, and we actually start to look just at the standard flag that has been playing out over and over and over again in this market. My guess is that we do continue to push higher. Now we focused on intraday trading, being able to see some good setups, and all based on really a good methodology that keeps the discipline intact and doesn't let us get too greedy. We see our setups, we take them off, we move on. So, you know, looking at that methodology, the HPS methodology, we look at some of the stochastic readings, the oscillator here, and this is a little, you know, we actually had a sell signal here, which when we had that gap up and reversal, you could actually see the stochastics pulled back under that 80 line, and we gapped up, and we had a hard time getting back over that green line. We just kind of, and that's a signal. That's a signal. You really see it down here on the fast stochastic, the 9.3 level, how we couldn't get that bounce right here back up against the 20, where at this point we were above that level, and then at this point we started to see almost a running divergence, a triple top, and from that we kind of pulled back, a triple peak, a triple higher highs, not a triple top technically speaking, but something we use in our methodology when we look at three peaks.
NQ tradeometer overbought.
That's the tradeometer, which was spot on today. You know, I'll even show you that, and that's a great tool to have if you are trading the futures in this market. So this is what we're going to go with. We're going to go with this pattern overall. The daily stochastic rotated back down. We'd like to get the full rotation, but what's been really good is the 60-minute time frame. In the 60-minute time frame, as you can see, we could go back. Each overbought level and oversold level has been pretty good. The overbought pulled back to oversold, and we bounced, and overbought we pulled back, and now we're kind of chopping around here. We don't have much direction. It hasn't made a full rotation back. Is it making a higher low? So we are kind of cautious on this. We're cautiously bullish on the bigger pattern, but the hourly is kind of stuttering. The daily trying to turn back up. That's a slight positive. And the pattern's a slight positive. So things look really good. I mean, there's nothing, you know, other than the potential for something to come out and stun this market, you know, kind of a so-called black swan event. That's always a concern out there, and we don't know if, and again, I started talking about this on the show today. And again, if you're not familiar with the show, I broadcast every day on DayTradingRadio.com. We talk about the markets, we trade the markets, we show you, you know, you follow my screen, and I educate you on how to trade the markets. But you know, we also talk about current events, and the big current event that, you know, I've got my eyes focused on is the North Korean situation with the missiles and stuff. And it is a you know, it's fun to talk about, speculate how this whole thing is going to play out. You know, it's hard to see it just washing over. There has to be a you know, this head has come to a big pimple now, and we need to pop it somehow. Because because it's always going to be hanging out there. It's a good analogy. And and speaking about disgusting analogies, I apologize. There's a lot of stuff like that. So this market looks good to go higher. Just the overhanging fears of something like that might put this into a little sideways consolidation. And when we talk about that sideways consolidation, we can always go back to our 60-minute time frame, our underlying trend lines, and just following that trend. So we're going to continue to do that. We've been more trading stocks right now than the futures, but like I said, the futures will give us divergence setups. And today we had a tremendous amount. Here's our Alibaba. We're long that. That was our our entry today. We got in early today at $1.42. And change. What do we get here on this? $1.41.98. $1.41.98. It ended at $1.45, and we're still holding it into tomorrow. The setup is golden. I'm liking it a lot, and we talked about being on the right side of the trade. If this market here continues to hold up, it's showing a bullish flag developing. We're seeing these stocks here continue to move high. The leaders are moving higher. This is definitely a leader out there, Alibaba, the Chinese leader. So we're on it, we're in it, we're holding it. For more information, you'll see that on the dashboard of some other stocks. But let's go back to the overall day today on the ES. It's kind of been an interesting day. We opened up here with a 930 kind of flush, and that's where we started really seeing relative strength come into Alibaba and some other stocks, and we were able to start to see this. And right down at the bottom here, sure enough, we had a divergence. We had a nice divergence, and the divergence takes us out of that channel. We might even have a Rambot there. If I look back at what time that was 10:30. So let me go back here. Let me get rid of the 1 minute time frame. Yeah, 10:30. Nothing. We had a sell signal up here, and then we had a divergence. But the key thing that we're looking at is that divergence, and that divergence happened here. It happened quick. It was a nice one. It had a double bottom divergence right at 10:30. It ripped up here, and then we were able to identify this sell side divergence right here at 11:30. From that point on, we had a perfect pullback, and again, we had a double bottom divergence here. So 3 good setups, 3 nice moving. Big move here from 2420 to 2428, 29, and then from this point 29 back down to 26, and from this point back up to 31, and then we didn't even, I think there was a little lunch break here, and then we came back, and we could start to see the tradeometer taking over. A buy signal here, a sell signal there, a Rambot signal here, which is a 5-minute Rambot, which is a great divergence on the 5-minute chart, and we're going to look at that. And that's on your dashboard. So here's your 5-minute cash chart here. Where is it? Oh, here. All right. So we're going to zoom in here. And if you take a look at the 9.3 down here, it's a very clean one. We would like to have that divergence end up both on the 14.3 and the 9.3. In this case, it happened there. We have that number here, 25. Over here is a little bit under, probably 24 and change. Slight divergence there. You can see it here clear because this one you're touching the 20 line, and this one has a space between the 20 line. This one does also. So we start to see that lower low and higher low. But that's what we get the. That's why you're going to get that alert on the Rambot. You're going to get that alert, and we're going to mark that down in yellow. Whenever you see that yellow circle on the chart, that represents a 5-minute divergence. At the same time, we had a tradeometer set up, which is our go-to indicator. And from that point on, it was off to the races, and then at the close, we just chopped around. Overall, not much going on today. Not much, and that's probably going to be this way. this week. You know, we had the FOMC minutes out here. Nothing really stood out. Nothing really happened. Market went sideways. The trend is higher, and until that changes, you know, we're not looking too much at the shorts. Only on if we do get a signal to go short, we will go short. There is shorts out there. There's no doubt. You know, probably short still a lot of retails, and down the road, you know, there's probably writing on the wall, and some of these stocks are not going to be around. But you know, everything has its trading range. So we are looking at some longs. Got a great couple of setups coming down the pipe, and let me go over a couple of those right now. So just going into the market radar, I think we have a good opportunity to just chop around here in this range. The overall patterns for a higher move. Any type of news out of North Korea or anything significant probably will drop this market. It'll flush it out a little, but that should be probably bought. You know, as this missile crisis thing probably won't escalate. It'll be it might be. You never know. You really don't know. At this point, we've seen it all. We've seen it all in the world. The world is a crazy place. So not counting anything out on the missile crisis thing. Not at all. Some crazy people out there. But the setups today, if you're a scalper in the ES, there was some fantastic. Every one of these setups that we pointed out to you today really worked out. There was actually a sell signal over here too. This probably could have been qualified as a little sell divergence right at the close. But let's just go into a couple setups for tomorrow. There's still a few HPS setups that are still active. The one that I looking at it for, or another, well, let's take a look here. Another re-entry is Costco, which is on the HPS setup. It moved nice. It might come back down to that lower trend line, and we'll watch that level. I might reset this one. So Costco, we're keeping an eye on. The JBHT, love it. I don't know if it was going to give us a pullback. It didn't. You know, again, this is a situation that's probably we'll have to wait for. But the Costco, we don't. Under Armour, I do like it. It is a slow mover, but it is moving higher, and we're in it, and it's looking pretty good. Corning, GLW, nothing. That's our swing, and it continues to hold and push higher. Yeah, I don't know if this is all-time highs. Probably not with the 2000 bubble, but it's getting up there. It's looking good. Partnership with Tesla. Tesla got hit today, but this didn't really get hit too bad. Oh, that's I was actually not thinking of this. I'm thinking of Panasonic, but Corning, looking great, and I have this one. This is my long-term best bet swing play. Now the Panasonic I mentioned is on our list of stocks going forward. And they have a nice partnership with Tesla on the battery cells and everything like to go. Now it got hit today, and we're going to probably take that it got hit on the Tesla news. Now Tesla news, whatever it was a downgrade. Nothing's going to change with this. I mean, they're still going to get their batteries. They're still going to maybe even increase production. I mean, this is probably going to be a buying opportunity at PCRFY, Panasonic Corporation. Now one of the rare five letter stocks, which is a kind of a foreign, they trade in a foreign market. All right, so that one's up there. The GWW hit its target the day before yesterday. It still looks actually good. I'm going to be doing a special educational video for members called the secondary entry off of a divergence. Most of the setups that we got into last week were divergence setups. Meaning that we had the lower low and the higher low on the stochastics. Our secondary entry is always great on a divergence, so it always gives us two setups. And the second setup is that first pullback, and I want to be doing an educational video on that, and that'll be going out tonight. So you want to have that, because we had so many great examples of that, and they are still setting up. I mean, here's a great example of EOG, nice divergence, and now this is starting to pull back. So we're going to show you where to get in on that on the pullback. FRT, same thing. FRT, divergence, pullback, bounce, and it continues to move higher. So these are all good setups on these secondary bounces. So I want to try to break that down as the best I can in a nice, concise way and let you get it. Hold on to it. Another one, Scripps Network. All of these. We'll go into detail more on that. So the last one we're going to talk about tonight is Kellogg. Now Kellogg, interesting, we have a lower trend line. 2, 3, we're right on it, and we had this tight trend line here. And we're just about on it. We're going to call this an X marks the spot type of setup. It's embedded, showing a lot of weakness. It dropped pretty hard today, but we're going to be watching it for an entry. I think you could buy into weakness on this soon. This is what it looks like on the hourly. It's actually getting a little bounce right at the close. Oh man, does that look? That looks pretty good. Excuse me. I apologize. I just snuck out. All right, so that's it. So we're back from a little mini vacation, which we didn't really even take a vacation. We broadcasted, and we're back here to finish out the week and every single day afterwards. Hope you could join us here at DayTradingRadio.com every morning. We're going live on the air with great guests and great traders in the room. Big shout out to everyone out there who knows, you know who you are, for making this site such a great one. We'll see you in the markets. I'll see you in the markets tomorrow morning. Again, looking for a neutral day, neutral rest of the week. We have ADP tomorrow. We have jobs report on Friday. But basically, I think we're going to be chopping around sideways for a while here. Not to say we can't identify the stocks and actually see these great moves. It gives you 3, 4, 5 points. These are all able to trade this. So not an issue. Not an issue at all. And again, a great educational video coming out, but that's going to be for the members. So please, if you want to check it out, go to DayTradingRadio.com. Try out a free, not a free trial. It's a $9.95 trial, 2 weeks, and you get everything that we get here: watch list, chat rooms, the dashboard, all the alerts, and you get to check it out really good, and you'll make money too. So have a great one. We'll see you in the markets tomorrow.